Well, today we're talking about this guy right here. This is the MEEPO Go electric skateboard or electric longboard. And I've been testing this now for several weeks. I have a lot of great things to say, and we're going to take some rides. So, without further ado, let's talk about the MEEPO Go. Hey folks, welcome back to techgooch, and today, like I said, we're talking about the MEEPO Go electric skateboard. Now, this is not my first rodeo. I've actually had an electric skateboard in the past, and so I am used to this. It's been several years since I've had one in my possession, but when I got the chance to test this guy out, I could not resist because I've been itching to get back on one. I am a snowboarder at heart. I'm not a skateboarder at heart, so I will say that right off the bat. So the longboard's definitely more my style, and having something that powers itself is well worth it to me. So like I said, I'm not a skateboarder, so me pushing with my foot and everything like that, I hate doing it when I get to the chairlift on my snowboard. So this is fantastic. It is so enjoyable. Now we're going to talk about all the specs and stuff like this at the end. What I really want to do is get to riding and show you some stuff. So first off, I want to show you some footage that I took while I was actually riding on a trail, actually not too far from here, across the way, and I was able to get some drone footage and things like that of myself using it. Now, whenever you get one of these skateboards, the first time you get on it, and like I said, it had been several years since I'd been on one, so it's taken me a couple of weeks to really get used to not only how it rides, the flexibility of the trucks and everything like that, how well it turns, but also the acceleration and deceleration, and to get used to how well the remote connects to the skateboard. The remote control here is the most important piece because this literally is how you control a skateboard. It will put you up to speed, but it also will bring you back down, and you want to make sure that the connection between this and the skateboard is great. I did not have great luck with my previous skateboard at a few times, and one time was detrimental to my health. But that said, this guy here has been awesome because not only has this been a very stable connection with this, yeah, it's just made everything so good. And we're going to talk more about that here shortly. But uphill, downhill, all over the place. I've been testing this, and definitely on a 30% grade pretty much as well. I've maxed this guy out of how steep of a hill it probably could go up. It probably could go up a little steeper. Some of the hills that are around me are not, they're not flat is probably the best way to say it. They're quite steep. They're not mountains per se, but this thing is pretty awesome what it can do. Like I said, we'll talk about the specs at the end. I want to get on it. I want to get riding. And I will say this right off the bat, not all the footage that you're seeing has me wearing a helmet, which I'll be honest, I did not do several times. But of course today I do have one of my handy bike helmets with me, so I do have that. And it's probably, I just need to get a skateboarding helmet. This is so much fun that I can't wait to continue riding it. So without further ado, let's do some more riding. So let's talk about my riding experience so far. So far, I will be 100% as honest as I possibly can be about this skateboard. Now, this is not my first electric skateboard. And of course, it's a longboard, but I'm going to use this form skateboard in general. This is not my first go. I've had one before. I had it for well over a year, almost 2 years that I used it on, actually quite regularly, because it is quite exhilarating and freeing. I liken it to riding my motorcycle. It's very enjoyable, especially once you run it multiple times and you become comfortable with riding it. It's lovely, and especially on a hot day, it is wonderful because of all the air that's moving around you. Like I said, just like my motorcycle, it feels great on a lovely summer day. Now, the key thing about having an electric skateboard, specifically if you're going to be around any kind of hills or obstacles of some kind, as I go over this, is the connection between the board and the remote controller. The best way to say it is the connection between this guy here, this remote, and the board has been stellar. It's been perfect. I have not had a slip up at all, which I can't say about my last board that I ran, because I actually got injured because I was going down a hill when the brakes stopped working. I should say the deceleration capability stopped working because it lost connection to the remote, which was scary. And yeah, ended up me taken, actually, to be honest, it was a purposeful leap off the board so that I didn't get up any faster. And yeah, it is what it is. Now, I'm not a professional, right? I am more snowboarder than anything. I'm not a skateboarder. So riding these longboards is more about like riding my skateboard or my snowboard in the summertime. So I'm really enjoying it because, well, it's a great way to do it while there's no snow on the ground. But that said, this guy has been fantastic, this remote control. Also, it tells me how fast I'm going. So obviously in this video, I'm not gonna be going too crazy. I'm going 10 miles an hour right now, but I can look down and see how fast I'm going at any time. Also, you can set how, basically how powerful the acceleration and top speed of the board is based on this remote setting. So right now, I think I have it set so the max I can go is about 20, I believe, at the current setting, which is as fast as I've gotten it. I did go into the high power setting because this thing will go up to 28. I got to, I think, 21, 22, and then I was like, yeah, that's not for me. I don't need to go that fast. I actually just enjoy going around that 14, 15. It's just enjoyable. You get enough breeze moving around you, and it's just fun. It's just a blast. But the deceleration is just as impressive as the acceleration is, because if I'm going down, right now I'm going down a slight slope. If I need to slow down, I need to slow down. And especially when I'm coming up to the end of this driveway, it's gonna dip way down, so I'm not gonna take that at speed. Well, I wanna be able to do this smoothly, like I am right now. Let go, roll through. But I need it to have enough power that I feel like it actually gets done what it's supposed to do. And I've been extremely impressed by the quality of the control that this remote has with this board. So MEEPO, you're doing some great things with these controllers, and they're really easy to use. Just by using this thumb scroll has just been lovely. Also, if you're powering on and off the board regularly, turning the board off from the remote, just using the remote control power, turns off the remote, but also the board itself, so it does both. However, if the board sits unused for a couple of days, it won't power on from this button. If you used it yesterday or something like that, most likely when you power on the remote, the board's automatically gonna turn on as well. So the other big thing is hills. This thing can do up to a 30% grade, and it can do it quite easily. It has plenty of power in the motors, not only for acceleration going up that, but also deceleration coming down that, so you don't get all crazy. It is impressive how much power the motors on this board actually have. I was actually kind of blown away by how much power it has. And it's also, with the remote, very smooth, very easy to control. But I live in Dubuque, Iowa. We have tons of hills, and this thing is pretty awesome in what it can do on those slopes. It's quite impressive. So I'm gonna find a spot to pull off here, and we'll talk about the board a little bit more. So the board itself is kind of a traditional hardwood longboard, and you do have this lovely carry handle, which is handy as heck. I love that. The wheels on this guy, nice and large, 90 millimeter wheels, 60 millimeter width on them, just really lovely. They roll really good. The stock board itself is not something that you have to upgrade. Obviously, there are people out there that are way more advanced as I am. I'm just a lovely, just cruise around kind of guy. And they do have other wheel upgrades that MEEPO offers. And of course, you can use your own wheels and everything. And I'm not going to sit here and explain, oh, the trucks and stuff like that. I am not an expert at all in those things. This video is more about the use of an everyday person on this board. Now, the battery capability and of course the motors and everything like that. So there is just a little rubber gasket here that goes where the charge port is. If you watch my unboxing and getting ready video, which I'm posting at the same time of this, you'll see how this exactly comes out of the box. And of course I get it charged up for my first use and stuff. This one is, so on this guy here, we do have 2 motors with belts. Now it does come with extra belts as well. And I actually was really wondering, because the last board that I had, last electric skateboard I had hub motors, where this one is belt driven. Now, of course, every hub motor is different. Every motor with a belt is going to be different, but I am super impressed by how smooth this rolls, how well it rolls, as well as how much power this thing has. As I explained before, this thing has a ton of power, and so it's not short by any means of what it needs to get you where you are. It's not short at all of what it needs to get you where you want to go. And yeah, does so fairly efficiently, to be honest. Now, before we end, I'm going to pull up the specs here on this board. So retail on this guy is $6.99. Now, you may find it on sale right now, actually through MEEPO's website, $569. That's pretty awesome. Now, of course, that may change when you actually watch this video, but if you're interested, click the link at the top of the description. It's going to take you directly to MEEPO's website so you can see what this thing's going for right now. So it's equipped with 12S3P battery, which is 324 watt hours, 7.5 amp hours. Can go up to 32 kilometers or 20 miles on a single charge. Top speed, like I said, 28 miles an hour or 45 kilometers per hour. They have 3 modes on this controller: L mode, E mode, S mode. Like I said, most of the time I'm in E mode. L mode limits you to about 12, 13 miles per hour, or what did they say? It's 20 kilometers per hour. E mode, which is what I'm currently riding on, puts you at 32 kilometers per hour, which is 20 miles an hour. That limits you so you can't go faster than that. And so it limits, you don't have to pay attention as much. S or S Plus mode will allow you to go up to 45 kilometers per hour or 28 miles an hour. Thing will cruise. And I've only been in that mode once, and that was just to test it. And it was interesting, to say the least. Holy cow, the power this thing has. It has reverse mode. That reverse mode not only has the capability, if you want to ride in reverse and have the motors in front of you, you can do that and change the direction that this guy goes. So right now I go forward, and it's motors in the back to go forward. You can reverse that in here as well. So it does have a reverse mode. In addition to, it actually has reverse, where you can actually back up. And that's, of course, how you use the deceleration as well. So that is the specs of the MEEPO Go. Riding modes, 4 of them: L, E, S, S Plus. Long range, 20 miles, 324 watt hour battery, 30% hill capability or hill grade that it can go up, 28 miles an hour top speed, comes with this lovely remote control, has dual 1500 watt motors, yeah, and what they call next level riding control with acceleration and brakes using this fancy controller is nothing short of awesome. So in the end, would I recommend this skateboard to anybody? And the answer is yes. This thing is so much fun. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Not only does it have plenty of power, it has plenty of range, it is a lot of fun, has a lot of adjustability to get it to ride how you want it to ride. It's about the right length. Yes, 100%. Now, of course, I received this unit to do a review on, to test and see and give my honest thoughts. And my honest thoughts are, I would buy this board 100% for that price. If it's on sale for that price, yes, 100%. $569, I would wholeheartedly purchase this board if I was in the market for an electric skateboard. Yes, 100%. It's solid, it's awesome, it works very well, it's easy to control, and I have not noticed a severe degradation in battery performance. Of course, it's new, but it lasts. I mean, I charge it every couple of weeks, and I'm on my 3rd charge, I think, so far. It is just a fun board. So if you're interested, if you're in the market for an electric skateboard, or even if you're kind of looking at skateboard or scooter, I highly recommend checking out what MEEPO has to offer. And the MEEPO Go is a pretty solid offering that they're bringing to the table. So thank you for watching to the end of this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe as always, and I hope you check this guy out, because MEEPO, you're doing some great things. Thanks for watching. Catch you back here for another future video review. See you soon.